Today, we are going to be discussing an important topic that has the power to transform relationships: forgiveness in marriage, healing the hurt, and moving forward. Forgiveness is a crucial aspect of any relationship, especially in marriage. When hurt and pain occur, forgiveness can be a challenging but essential step towards healing and moving forward. Today, we will explore the importance of forgiveness in marriage, the process of forgiveness, and how to move forward after hurt. Then, before we continue, we want to understand this word forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is the intentional act of letting go of resentment and the desire for revenge. It means choosing to release negative feelings towards someone who has hurt you, whether through words, actions, or even neglect. It's just pardoning the offender, allowing the offender to go free and without being hurt anymore. The key verse I want us to look into here today is Matthew 18, verse 21 to 22. When Peter asked Jesus how many times he should forgive someone, Jesus replied him and said, I tell you, not just 7 times, but 70 times 7 times a day. This teaches us that forgiveness should be limitless. You should forgive as often as possible. Forgive. Now, let's look at why forgiveness is important in marriage. Forgiveness is important in marriage. One, it heals emotional wounds. Forgiveness helps to heal emotional wounds and restores emotional intimacy in marriage. Two, it rebuilds trust. It helps to rebuild trust and strengthen the bond between spouse. It promotes unity and harmony in marriage. It allows couples to move forward together again. It reflects God's character. That is important of forgiveness. It reflects God's character. Remember, God forgive us. So God has set that basis, that model for us to follow. Forgiveness reflects God's character and is a key aspect of Christian living. Love is patient. That's God's character also. Love is kind. It keeps no wrong. And love is not boastful. So that is God's character, and we are to emulate God's character. Forgive your spouse. Yes, even though it hurts. Importance of forgiveness is that it prevents bitterness and resentment. Unforgiveness causes bitterness, and bitterness destroys emotional intimacy and trust. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31 to 32 says, get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice, but rather be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ in God forgave us. That is forgiveness. Now, there are challenges to forgiveness, and most of the time, these challenges makes it difficult for one to forgive. What are these challenges to forgiveness? Number one is pride and ego. Yes, pride and ego can make it difficult to forgive, as one may feel that forgiveness is a sign of weakness. But no, forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it takes strength and courage to forgive. It shows emotional maturity and the ability to rise above negative emotions. Two, fear of repetition. It makes it difficult to forgive, as one may feel that the issue is still pending and if I should forgive this person, then the problem will still happen again. No, you have to live above the fear of repetition. Forgive and have a decision to move forward. There are processes of forgiveness. One is acknowledge the hurt. Yes, there are challenges. You have to try to overcome those challenges and embrace the process of forgiveness. One of the process is to acknowledge the pain, the hurt, the feelings caused by the other person. Then be truthful with your spouse regarding how you got hurt. Don't place the blame. Concentrate on the healing and feeling. Two, choose to forgive the other person, even if the hurt is deep. Forgiveness is not an emotion, but it is a choice. You will not necessarily feel like forgiving, that is sure, but God commands us to choose forgiveness. One adage will say, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Yes, it takes divinity for one to forgive, and God has shown us that step, and we have to follow it. Colossians 3, verse 13 says, forgiving others as God has forgiven you. So we have to forgive. We have to choose to forgive. It is a command. We have to choose to forgive despite how hot we are. Let go of resentment. Very important. Let go of resentment and bitterness and walk towards healing. It's important to walk towards healing. Yes, you will remember what happened in the past, but it will not have any effect on you anymore. You have to let go of the hurt. That is the process. Then communicate forgiveness to the other person and work towards reconciliation, moving forward. Now, when these processes has been duly followed, the next thing to look into is, how do we move forward after the hurt? How will this reconciliation be? But there is something that couples need to understand. True reconciliation encompasses both change behavior and forgiveness. Remember, for reconciliation and moving forward to be effective, couples should learn and understand this simple equation. What is this equation? Forgiveness plus change behavior equals true reconciliation. When this is well understood by the couple, then moving forward after the hurt is possible. Now, one step again to take is rebuild trust. For you to move forward, you have let go of the baggages, of the hurt, of the things that has happened in the past. Then come together. Reconciliation has to take place. Rebuild the trust by being consistent, reliable, and transparent. And being transparent also includes being accountable to one another. That will help. Two, communicate openly. Don't keep it in your mind. Communicate openly and honestly with your partner. The couple should communicate, discuss those issues, try to understand what is it that has happened in the past and not to go back to it again. Focus on the present. Very important. Focus on the present and the future rather than dwelling on the past. Past is gone. Don't dwell on it. Stop crying over spilled milk. Take up yourself together, have that decision, be intentional to move forward, focus on the future, then seek counseling or therapy to walk through issues and strengthen the marriage. Yeah, there may be some issue that you will require you to meet a counselor. There's no problem to seek for a counselor or a therapist. Then set boundaries, because when boundaries are not set, then abuse is inevitable. There is chances that thing that has happened in the past may repeat again. Try to set boundaries to understand what are these things that when I do it, I will get my partner offended, and avoid them and try to work towards a agreed and fulfilling path. There is one biblical example I wanted to discuss Joseph and his brothers in the Bible. In Genesis 45, verse 1 to 5, we know the account of Joseph and how Joseph forgave his brothers all what they did to him. And he stand a better chance to do to them whatsoever thing that he deemed fit. But Joseph did not do that part. Joseph forgave his brothers and he welcomed them. That's a good example of forgiveness and reconciliation. Forgiving is not just simple, particularly if the hurt got deep. Nevertheless, in marriage, it is crucial to healing, restoration, and a healthy relationship. Remember, God has demonstrated ultimate forgiveness in Christ. We are enabled to share it with our spouse, our children, our relations, and our family members. Because in marriage, if the couples show the love to each other, it will extend to every other one around them. God has shown us that example. We have to follow that step and show it to our spouse as we partake in God's grace. Remember, Mark chapter 10, verse 9 said, what God has joined together, let not anger, let not bad behavior or whatsoever thing or unforgiveness separate it. We have to walk in love and forgive in love. Thank you for watching this video today. Until next time, stay kind, stay compassionate, and keep embracing the power of forgiveness. Please do like, comment, and share this message.